Hi, everyone. Hope you had a good lunch and had a chance to do some of that networking that's so important. So we're starting a different phase of the summit now, one where we're going to have a little bit more rapid-fire presentation from a number of key public institutions. We have 8 individuals who are going to be coming up next, representing a number of different organizations, governments, whether or not they're at the regional level or at the national level, arts councils and others. And they are going to be presenting to you their perspective on a number of key questions. But one of the things that I've asked all of them to try and address during their presentation is really to focus on what can they as individuals and organizations do to help foster greater collaboration and cooperation to advance the whole concept of cultural cooperation in the Arctic. What can we do in a more practical way? And the first person who's going to be joining us today is Vibeke Larsen. Vibeke is the president of the Sami Parliament of Norway, and I can think of no better way to, quite frankly, honor the fact that we're in Sápmi by having Vibeke here as the first speaker. She will be able to share with us how she aims to further promote Sami culture here in Norway and abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, Vibeke Larsen. There's the ball. The ball's in your court.
Thank you. Dear brothers and sisters, Borisbotten, welcome to Sápmi, my homeland. Great to have you all here. And thanks to Maria Utsi for bringing the world to Sápmi. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation. It's great to see so many stakeholders, policymakers, but most importantly, artists are here to discuss these vital issues that consider us all. It's with great pleasure we now experience that the interest for Sami culture and art scenes is rising both nationally and internationally. This year, we celebrate a 100-year jubileum, Tronte 2017. 100 years has passed since the first Congress of the Sami people, and this is celebrated throughout the year in Norway, but also in Sweden and Finland. I'm pleased and also thankful that the first Arctic Arts Summit is set this year and a part of the 100-year celebration. The Arts Council of Norway's theme for their yearly conference will be on Sami art, with Sami protest art in focus. The title of the conference is Samisk vrede, and is an analogy to the Black Rage induced by the Sami artist Carola Khan. The Office of Contemporary Art Norway have had a huge focus in Sami art during the last year. The result being that a group of Sami artists is a part of Documenta in Kassel, which opened a few weeks ago. In addition, Sami artists and art projects are being shown throughout the country, and the Sami artists will have a bigger stage. We expect that Sami literature will be a part of Frankfurt 2019, the world's biggest book affair. Given that Norway is the guest of honor, Sami artists are more than ever on tour abroad, and interest for the Sami culture have increased. In general, we experience that Sami artists are starting to get the recognition they deserve. The artists and the cultures has always had an impact on the development of Sápmi and the Arctic. The Masi Group played a key role in the social debate in the late 1970s and the beginning of 1980s, especially in the Alta conflict. Their influence has set deep traces, and their direction was clearly in line with the political currency of time. With them, the expression Sami protest art was born. In addition, art has played a central role in social debate. We see this in the new generation of Sami artists. The Arctic rebellion against national stakeholders and against the national industrial development in the Arctic is blooming. The Sami artists still have the critical view of what's happening in our land. They also have the ability to use the other methods in fight for our rights to be involved and not forgotten in the development of Arctic. This new generation of protest artists are essential in making us all wake up and smell the coffee. They are our frontrunners for our democracy. Their voices are here to warn us of what is about to happen. Artist Marta Nesara once said in an interview, "It's a part of a natural process. We are being pressured more and more to the extent of what we can take, and this is reflected in the art. The art forms are automatically more intense, and it screams." And she's right. Regardless of the new interest in Sami art and culture, we experience that we aren't always heard when it comes to the influence of developing of the Arctic. Sami culture and Sami rights are constantly put under pressure. The state of Norway don't the primary industries report on predators' impact on pastures and reindeer population. A young reindeer herder has had to go to court against Norwegian state because he's forced to reduce the reindeer population to a level he can't not survive on. Coastal and fjord fishermen's effort to gain some protection for their business activities have been overtaken and opposed by those who have power in the area, not to mention all the mining and the windmill project that threaten our culture in the Arctic. We are the indigenous people of the Arctic, but the Sami people have an undefined role in the way the national and international stakeholders plan the development of Arctic. The place we live in and have lived for centuries, our home. We might be mentioned, but we are rarely heard in their plans of shaping the future Arctic. Their plans, not our plans. Of course, we need to develop the Arctic, but it needs to be done on the premises of the people living here. Only too often we see that the focus is on the industrial project and values, and not much, if any, on the people living here. What local people is a phrase that emerged during the protest against the Gallak mine outside Jokkmokk in Sweden. It's a phrase that was stated by Beowulf Mining CEO when he was asked the question about what the locals think of mining exploration in Gallak. He stated that there are no local here because there are no settlements just where the mine were planned. This is an example of what local people is relevant because it represents a common story on how indigenous people are marginalized and forgotten in the shaping of Arctic. What local people? We are the local people, and it's about time we are included in the shaping of Arctic. Is there a need of a joint Arctic policy for culture? Yes. Is it possible? Certainly. We clearly see a need for a joint Arctic policy for culture in a wider sense. My hope is that this summit will not be the last of its kind, but it's just the beginning. The beginning of us, the local people, to have a stronger say in both development and the protecting in the Arctic. If not, what are we left with? Ologito. Thank you.
Thank you, Vibeke. Thank you so much for that. Again, really important messages about indigenous peoples and culture, and one that we will continue to integrate into the broader discussion as well. But they are at the center of the discussion of culture.